What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fuzzy Fitness. So let's start this video with Rubel Mosquera, also known as Nexzilla, hitting some shots after going through a shoulder workout today. So Rubel's shoulders and the width on them, that is gonna be a major factor and one of the biggest variable on how balanced he looks at this upcoming Dubai Pro, which is happening in about 4 weeks time now. So I think we can all agree that the man has one of the biggest set of wheels in the history of the sport. But because of that exact reason, he needs to have more cap delts to create a great illusion of having a V-taper, of having more balance between his upper and lower half. And I have got to say, here in this video, Rubel's delts are looking the best that they have ever looked, and he still has more than 1 month to go till this year's Dubai Pro. So Nexzilla has been low carbing for quite some time now, and we can see that the granny conditioning is now loading. So he was in a pretty decent condition in Prague as well when he made his pro debut. And here is the fact. If he can improve on that, he will surely be in the mix, and he is going to be very dangerous, and I believe he can win this show. So a few updates that we have seen from Rubel during this year's Dubai Pro Prep, they have been extremely impressive, one of the best out there. So back at Prague Pro last year, Rubel looked really good on the stage, especially when he was in the shot, when he was in the pose, and he had a decent enough V-taper as well even back then. Plus the size that he carried, and the freak factor that he had, that convinced the judges to place him ahead of Nathan D'Asha. So Rubel is just 28 years old, and this is just the start of his professional career in the IFBB Pro League, and he is already one of the biggest names in the men's open bodybuilding. So we all want to see him compete at this year's Mr. Olympia against the best of the best. So with Andrew Jack not doing Dubai Pro, can Rubel win this show? I believe he surely can. Next up, we have an update from Hunter Labrada, exactly 13 weeks out of his first show of the season. He is doing Italy Pro, which is scheduled to be held in September, so about 5 or 6 weeks before this year's Mr. Olympia. And then he is going to be doing UK Pro as well. So no Tampa Pro for Hunter this year, as he has won that show multiple times already. Plus he is going to be competing very late this year, very close to the Olympia, so that he could utilize the maximum amount of time in the improvement season, and that I believe is going to pay off really well. So Hunter at this point of his prep is consuming plenty of food, but he is getting leaner with each passing week. So the struggle of the prep hasn't kicked in yet, because his strength in the gym is at its all-time high, and the recovery is also happening at a great pace. So right now he is weighing 284 pounds, and that is an amazing conditioning to be in, especially for this far out of the show. In fact, Hunter has stayed in such a great shape all year round. He was over 300 pounds, hitting vacuums, and that vacuum practice is gonna come in very handy when the judges make this guy go rounds and rounds of posing when they are on that stage. I mean, isn't this exactly what happened last year at Texas Pro? It was a very close show between Hunter Labrada and Andrew Jack, and the judges made this guy go through 4 rounds. So Hunter was the one who faded first, and that is why Andrew got the nod. And that is exactly what the judges told Hunter as well, that he needs to have better control over his midsection. And that was one of the main area of focus for Hunter and Ben this year. They emphasized on that the most. So I believe we definitely haven't seen the best of Hunter just yet. Yes, he was really great at Tampa Pro last year, but he himself believes he can be a lot harder than that. So what are your predictions for Hunter this year? Can he get back into that top 5 at the Olympia stage? Do let me know in the comments below. So Behrouz Tabani has been featured a lot on this channel lately. And this next update is once again from Behrouz, showcasing true Iranian conditioning, those insane genetics, just a few days out of the show. So I'm pretty sure it's more of a genetic thing than a diet thing or a training thing. It's hard to believe that anyone at the pro level struggles to diet for extended periods of time. They are all very regimented, and they are all very disciplined. So how come we do not see that kind of conditioning on all of the other guys? That hard, dry and grainy look. So it's safe to say that that is genetics. And Milos, who is Behrouz's coach, he said that Behrouz gets into shape so easy and quickly that it is so unbelievable. So the battle between Michael Krizo and Behrouz Tabani is going to be one of the biggest battles this year. And I am talking about at the Olympia qualifiers. And so far what we have seen, it seems like both Behrouz and Krizo are going to be bringing their absolute best to the stage. So Michael Krizo might bring an even better package than what we saw at Prague last year, because he knows what's at stake here. So if Behrouz is able to win this thing, he's gonna solidify himself as a top 8 Olympia finisher, even though he hasn't been able to step on the Olympia stage just yet. So let's just hope that third time is the charm, and he gets to travel to the US this year and share the stage with the best of the best in the world. So Gareth Baggio did an interview with Muscle Discord where he made some pretty big statements that he has a chance of winning the Olympiad this year. So despite the reaction from the fans as well as from the champ himself, and not to mention his fiancée as well, who helps Keon Pearson with his training. So the statement made by Gareth Baggio could have been more realistic if he slammed the door shut at this year's New York Pro, because that was expected from him. But the truth of the matter is right now, he has yet to qualify for this upcoming Mr. Olympia. Now, that isn't going to be a problem for him. He is going to of course qualify. But the thing is, he still lost to Ole, who was placed 6th at the Olympia last year. So Gareth needs to cover some ground if he wants to get to Keon Pearson. Now, Gareth does have a super physique, and so many people thought that he should have placed top 3 at the Olympia last year, out of Angel Calderon. So structurally speaking, he is a bigger guy than Sean Corrida, and nobody is bigger than Keon Pearson, because Keon doubles in size when he opens up, and we are talking about Keon from 2023. This year is going to be a whole different level, because of the added tissue, because of the added muscle that he has been able to pack on during this offseason. And we have seen that in all of his recent updates. He has been looking absolutely bonkers. Now, as the great Ronnie Coleman once said, that he considers everyone in the top 10 to be a threat to the title, because anything can happen on the show day. But Keon does have a point. Gareth needs to earn the Olympic qualification first. Flex Lewis, the former 7x 212 Mr. Olympia champion, gives an update of his tricep tendon tear. So he is done with the surgery, and he has started training as well. Now, as great as Flex Lewis was, I think he was kinda lucky that a guy like Hadi Choopan wasn't able to compete against him in the 212 class. Hadi would have surely gotten the best of him, and that is exactly what Jake Cutler also said when he saw Hadi's potential. But that's ifs and buts, and we have to keep in mind, Flex was extremely dominant during his reign, but the guys who were placing second behind him, they were not as good as Hadi Choopan, or even as good as Keon Pearson. So Flex was beating guys like Jose Raymond, Eduardo Correa, and Ahmad Ashkenani in the last few years. And he also beat the winning Mr. Olympia Derek Lunsford. But Derek wasn't even close to his personal best at that time. So all I am saying is that if a guy like Hadi Choopan was there to challenge Flex Lewis, maybe the number of titles that Flex won, they would have been less than 7. Now, as fans, we will always regret that we never got to see Flex Lewis compete in the men's open class. And I think that might also be his biggest regret as well. Because the physique that he presented in the 212 class, especially in the last few years, that was a downsized, less muscular version of him. So who knows how he would have looked like in the men's open bodybuilding, without any weight restrictions, without having to lose a tons of muscle to make the weight cut off. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.